Welcome back to Huffler Garage. So we're back out at the lake again today with something new. The folks over at Beyond Marina reached out to us and wanted us to review their 10-foot dinghy. So they ended up shipping it to us, and we're gonna tell you what we think. We're gonna unbox this and show you what's in the box and get it out on the water as well. All right, let's get to the unboxing. These do ship in 2 separate boxes, the dinghy and other things, and the flooring, I believe is what that is. Once we open it up, we'll know. But let's get this thing open. All right. First thing is our MSO. That way we can actually get it registered. And I love it. Comes in a perfect little baggie. And we have our foot pump. All right, so there's our dinghy. We have our little supply. These typically have patches, a tool to remove your valves. That's a first. It even comes with glue for your patches that you may have to, if you run it up and get a hole in it. None of the other dinghies had that. So, love that. Looks like we got our carrying bag, our oars. These are the side rails to put the floor in. Our manual and our 2 seats. And that box is empty. We'll keep that. Let's go open our second box. Okay, a little more paperwork. I'm not entirely sure what that is. So it does have, or it does come with separate bags for your floor and your dinghy. We'll show you that here in a bit. And yep, that's all of our floor pieces. I'm just gonna leave that in the box for now. And we'll get you up close and we'll get this thing rolled out and inflated. Well, let's get this thing rolled out. We won't be needing our bag at this moment. Just throw that out of the way. And they got it wrapped in plastic. So plastic down there. Okay. So, now that we have this unrolled, you do end up needing to inflate it just a little bit to put the floors in. But first of all, they do send a foot pump. These things work great. They're just slow. It's hot out here. We're gonna be using an electric pump, but the manual pump works great. You know, you take it with you if you're gonna be out in the water for a long time, just in case you're worried you might puncture one of the chambers. But as far as this goes, we're gonna use the electric pump because it's hot and I'm lazy. So here we go. That's another big issue I don't like about the manual pumps.
You can mention that.
All right, we're gonna hook up our manual pump just to show you that it does work. Let's see, these valves. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. It goes right in like that. And you just pump and pump. You might want to switch some feet. And you just pump. Okay, as you can see, it pumps air. But one of my big things with these is the squealing noise that it makes from pumping the air. Maybe I'm just picky. So let's move to our electric pump. All right, we're moving on to our electric pump. Do make sure on these valves, you're going to turn them and make sure that they are locked, because I have in the past pumped these up, pull the pump off of it, and it just released all of its air. So just make sure they're in the locked position. Typically they come in the unlocked position. And on these, the optimal pressure is 3.3 to 3.6 psi, and it is actually written right there on the valve or around the valve. So we're just gonna do 3.5. All right, so we're not going to fully inflate it just yet. We are going to put it at 3.5, but we want to inflate it just enough. That way we can put our floor in and make sure that that's all mounted. So we're just going to put a little bit of air in each one and move on from there and get the floor in here. All right, now that we have this partially inflated, we'll probably have to let a little more air out of it. I did want to pump it up just enough to kind of get a good look at it. So we'll probably have to let some air out of it. We're going to get our floors unboxed fully, and we're going to show you how to put them in. So we have our floor laid out. These do come numbered from front to back. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Front one being your trapezoid shape. 2 planes rectangles, and then you got your back one. Number 4, this one has your fuel tank mount. It's got a little strap. You put your fuel tank in, it won't move around. It does have the corners cut off for the back and the transom, and it does have the opening where you can get to your valve for your drain plug. And that's what it looks like outside of the boat. And then we also have our side rails, and these go in and they're like a tongue and groove on each side. They'll latch up and hold all 4 pieces together. Actually the back 3. The front one does have a tilt on it, but well, let's let a little air out of this thing and get to putting these in. We're going to start with our number 1. I am going to put this cap on the kill chamber just so that's out of the way and we don't end up squishing it. So number 1 goes in first. You're going to want to push that all the way to the front. We are going to have to release some air. I'm going to put these in the unlocked. Maybe. There we go. The air come out. We'll go in for number 2. Make sure all the grass is off of here. Number 3. Number 4. These floors are always super tight the very first time you put them in. There we are. All right. So you kind of got to do a little TP method when you go to put these in, because you're going to need that space to push these down. The easiest way to do that is to allow 2 and 3 like that. Well, maybe might end up. Let's see if I can set it like that. I don't believe I'm gonna have my first one pushed all the way up in here. All right. All right. I don't know if you can quite tell there, but it is a little TP'd. We have everything locked in, so you can just kind of push that down. It's going to be a bit wavy until we get our side rails put in. And I managed to get dirt on it already. You do want to make sure you have nothing pinched up underneath there. And right like so. Put in our next one. Sometimes these can be a bit of a headache. Bam. More foot action in there. All right, now that floor is completely flat and locked in. So now we should be able to just pump it up. We're gonna go ahead and inflate all of our chambers. Once again, I'm using the electric pump. You can check for the link in the description. This thing makes it a world of easier, simply because you just get to stand and watch it. Our PSI is between 3.3 and 3.6. The setting on this one is 3.5. Nice. Now for our front chamber. Easy enough. So that is all of our main chambers. There is a fourth chamber, which is the center keel, which you do need to make sure stays pretty much straight when you're installing the floor. But it is mounted on both sides with straps, and it should stay straight, but just make sure that it does. We're not going to pump that one up yet because I want to be able to add all my other accessories, because then it's going to rock. But we will pump that up before we put it out on the water. So, let's see, we got seats and oars, I believe is our final products to put on here. And then we'll get it out on the water. All right, let's install our seats. So on these, compared to some of our other boats, the seats are marine plywood with a texture, and they seem to be pretty grippy opposed to the aluminum seats. So that'll be interesting. We're gonna start here. On these seats, what it does is on this rail strip is it's going to fold under and slide through a, well, it's a latching system. So here's what we're going to do. We start one side. Get that started. You don't want to push it too far up on there. You get your other side started, and looky there. Seat slides up, so that's our number 1 seat. And we have our second seat. Get it started on both sides. And push it up. Right like so. Seats are pretty easy to put on. They do sit on those rails and just slide up and back and forth. Also, for these seats on this one, the rails do go the full length of the straight part of the boat, which means anywhere you need to move the seats, you can move them back and forth. Some boats don't have a full rail, but this one does, which really makes it nice for, if it's just you. You can ride on it, knock the front seat out. If you're going to be riding 2 or 3 people, you add your second seat, push them all the way forward. It just gives you a little more control in how you want to run your boat. All right, so next we're going to throw our oars on. All right, so we have our oars. These come in 2 pieces. All you're going to do is push this little lock button down. You're going to slide this down on here, line up your hole in your lock, push the latch down, it locks right in. We'll use that one for that side. Bam. All right. So on your oar holders, there's a little string that attaches the nut. You're going to screw that off. There's a plastic piece here on this oar that you'll slide through. And you're going to remount your nut. And this one is nice. So we have had boats in the past that the string just spins with the nut and it gets all curled up. This one actually free spins. It's a nice quality thing. They latch right into the side. Throw our second one on. Push right in. And there is our fully assembled, inflated Beyond Marina dinghy. This one is the 10-foot as well. But, well, I must have done that wrong. I have to switch that over so the lifeline is actually above the oar in case we do need to move it or pick it up. But, real quick, we want to go over a couple of things. This boat is clean and I really like the shape of it, more of the triangular shaped nose. There are a few couple things that we really like about this boat that hasn't been on any other dinghy that we have purchased or found or gotten yet. And that is, it does have an anchor mount on the bow. We've looked for these for other boats, but this one comes with it, which is awesome. And another big thing, which we'll show you when we carry it out to the water, is it does have handles in the back. And we'll show you that here in just a second. All right, last thing we got to do before we put this in the water is pump up our center keel, the chamber. This thing is pumped up to 4.5 psi opposed to the side chambers, which are 3.5. So let's get that started. Set to 4.5. Perfect. Easy enough. Make sure we put our cap. And as you can see there, that's why I didn't pump this thing up before. Let's get this out of the way. Make sure your drain plug is in there. This one actually came with a real drain plug opposed to some of the other boats, and it mounts from the inside, which means you can actually pull it out while you're on plane to drain water if you need to. And it just slides right in there and locks right in. Let's get this carried in. This is so nice. It has a mounted handle in the front with the D-ring, and it has two handles on the rear, making it so much easier to carry. Just set it right there. Beautiful and easy. These handles on the rear of the chambers are so nice for being able to carry it with two people. The handles are also made, as you can see, they have this little groove in it, and I do believe that is so you can tie a rope to it if you needed to tie something off, and it wouldn't just be sliding around on that handle. Also, the oar holders also have that same channel that I believe that, once again, gives you another mounting point for a rope if you needed to tie off. And what I want to show you here on the front, let's spin this baby around. Same way with your bow anchor mount, but up here, there is a handle mounted with the D-ring. And you're able to pick it up like that, which, I mean, it's the little details that make a boat really nice. And especially when you've been running a couple of these boats for several years, I do believe they hit the nail on the head with this one. And I really like it. So let's throw a motor on it and take it for a ride. Okay, so we've got this on the water. We did install an engine on it. The boat does not come with an engine, but it does come with oars. And to be able to row it, it rows. But that's why we here at Huffler Garage buy engines. It's hot, it's sweaty, and I don't feel like rowing. So, we're going to be running this with our 12 horsepower Henkai. Your oars put up here. And we're ready to ride it. Now this boat is a 0.9 millimeter PVC, so you shouldn't have too many issues running it up on things. Our other boats are also about the same. We haven't had any issues with scratching or actually any lacerations in the PVC. So I think she's going to do pretty good. Let's go take it out and see how she runs. So we're finally out on the water. We did throw a 12 horsepower Henkai on this. It does not come with a motor, just to reiterate that. But bringing this out into the water, we were able to get it up to about 19 miles per hour with the 12, and it absolutely just glides through the water. And I will say, compared to the other boats that I've driven, the other inflatable dinghies, this one, when you go to do your turns, it kind of feels like the back end is sliding, which is I kind of enjoy what it feels like. So we're gonna take it out, do a little more riding. I've been adjusting my manual trim settings just to see how it goes. So we're gonna play around with that just a little bit more, but we're gonna show you out on the water. By the way, this boat is only rated for a 10 horsepower. Throwing a 12 on it is not manufacturer recommended, but this is what I run with, so that's what I got. Gotta put the kill switch on. Easy enough. Oh, it handles so much differently, but it's kind of nice. The Beyond Marina 10-foot dinghy. The riding experience for this boat is super clean. It cuts through the water. You're able to get up on plane. You can also row this boat, but we recommend an engine. And as for the riding experience, like I said, it gets on plane and it just goes. So a good feeling boat. It does seem like you sit a bit higher than our other dinghies, which is kind of nice. Gives you a little better view, but it does give you a better seating position. And as far as the main things that we like about this boat covers what we would consider our wish list for what we would want on a dinghy. After owning them for years, this one does have the handles in the back, so that way it makes it easier for someone to carry from the back. It has a mounted handle to the D-ring on the front of the boat. And then it also has the bow anchor mount. So you're able to put an anchor on it and just sit here and spin around whichever way the wind blows you. So you can pick up this dinghy off of beyondmarina.com, or you can get it off of Amazon. The retail price is about $1,100, but with a coupon on Amazon and just what the sell price is on Beyond Marina, this boat goes for $900 right now. We'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. First impressions on this boat, we really like it. There's nothing really negative to say about it. We do plan to get it out here and test it more on the water, really give it the ringer and see how she holds up. So follow us along for that. We'd like to thank Beyond Marina for sending us this 10-foot dinghy. You should go check out their website. It is beyondmarina.com. They don't just sell dinghies, they sell kayaks and paddleboards and other inflatable items. Hey, like and subscribe and follow us for more. Leave us a comment down below what you think of the dinghy. And hey, if you purchase one, let us know that as well. And it has a little cutout for the drain plug. How did I forget that?